right, I'm gonna make sure I'm in focus here. All right, so I had somebody at the gym ask me this the other day about engaging biceps. And this is really something that you can apply to any kind of workout. Battery's low. But he said, he's like, you really got your biceps to ball up. And so a lot of times when people, and again, this is just kind of a really simple video. I know it's not talking about anything too in depth, but what I want to talk about is just so when I was a college athlete, it was just all about moving the weight and impressing your coaches, impressing the players, getting your weights up so you could be up high on the chart of strength training, and essentially just it was all about pushing numbers. It didn't matter how you moved it. But now that I'm older, I realize like how important joints are and like really how effective you need to be in the gym. And so this is just one thing. Again, you got to be mindful of what you eat, but you also got to be mindful of how you move your body. And so and if any of you guys have any other questions, I mean, I can keep trying to think of other muscle groups where this happens at, but when you're doing a bicep curl, so again, without getting too in depth, being too nerdy on this, so there's this huge muscle right here called the brachioradialis, which attaches up here and then goes all the way down to your arm. So because of where it attaches at, the leverage it's easier for this muscle to move your bicep or to do a bicep curl than it is to do something like this. So just because of where it's at, how physics works, how biomechanics work, because of that leverage, it happens that when you're doing a bicep curl, sometimes like we'll tend to get more like this. Or that's why if you guys do bicep curls, it's easier to do a whole lot of weight with hammer curls than it is to actually do an actual bicep curl. Or when you're doing a bicep curl, you'll realize that your hand actually starts to turn and do something more like this. But what the guy at the gym noticed me doing the other day was this exercise, and when I do it, my thumbs are pointing out and down, mainly to help get that ball. And so it's more of so when you're doing a bicep curl, fight against this muscle dominating, because this is already a big muscle. It's your brachioradialis. The bicep, I genetically have small biceps. I don't really work that hard on them, but when I am working on them, I make sure to engage them the best way that I can. So when you guys are doing these, when you're doing a bicep curl, if I can get it in frame, when I'm doing a bicep curl, I focus on almost turning my thumb down and focusing on that ball. And so not just going through the motions of just doing it, because what happens is you eventually get to here, and you're just doing a bicep curl like this, which isn't going to activate the bicep the way that you want it activated. But so palm down, when you come up, turn, and so the thumb is almost pointing down and at an angle, and it will work on getting that little ball motion just like that. So again, I think that's really all I wanted to bring up. Somebody asked me this in the gym, but when you're doing a bicep curl, to really engage your bicep, to turn your palm down, because that takes away this leverage. It takes away what this muscle is doing to allow for you to flex your elbow. And so turning the bicep down or turning your thumb down and then fully engaging the bicep. And that's why I like doing these so much. So when you're doing these, it's the same thing of coming up, pointing your thumbs down, so that you're getting that ball up, or that full contraction of your bicep. I wanted to go over it real quick, real simple, but when you guys are in the gym and going through it, test it out and actually sit there, and instead of, so it's not just, the biggest thing is it's not just going through the reps, just say, hey, all right, I did 10. The most important thing is, okay, I'm doing this number of reps, but I want to make I want to be effective with that movement, and it's really slowing it down and then finding that sweet spot where you are actually squeezing at. And that's mainly what I want to talk about on this video. And then just, again, when you're doing a bicep curl, yes, there's hammer curls where that is focused more on the brachioradialis, but if you actually want to engage your bicep, focus on when you're coming up, turn that thumb out and down, and that will give that little, that full contraction at end range. So anyways, just a quick video. I'll post this in the group, and if you guys have any questions on it, I can definitely go more into it, but just wanted to run through that quick since it was at the top of my mind. Crush your Tuesday.